releases copyright for Trainwreck's listening to his music, right? So if an artist who is an owner of the copyrighted content allows you to watch it or play your music or whatever, then yeah, they're not going to pursue you legally. They could, technically still could. So it's always a gray area. And this morning, I definitely added fuel to the fire by tweeting that it is technically fair use if people don't pursue you. And I probably shouldn't have used the term fair use. I was using it more so colloquially rather than the legal defense, considering that, of course, it's not fair use.
I was literally just explaining what a
fair use is a vague legal defense that you can apply when someone actually enforces copyright on you or uses a DMCA takedown notice if you want to pursue it, if you want to push back. Obviously, most of what we do does not fall under fair use. Watching a TV show, yada yada. So there's a reason why I've been watching. There is a reason why I have been watching TV shows and numerous things. I'm a React Randall. I don't play video games for the most part, but there's a reason why I haven't been DMCA taken down before, with the exception of the presidential debates that I have watched live as it was going on, right? That was when everyone got taken down for 24 hours back then. Now Twitch has upped the ban to 48 hours, I believe, for DMCA live takedowns. So there's two different avenues here that I need to clarify. One is that what I personally believe, okay, like what I think is right, and then the other is what the law is, right? And kind of how to get around it. But before I do that, I should probably blast off that I'm live and welcome the Normans into this wonderful conversation before we move on to, other content. Daycare is open. I'm live and talking about fair use, DMCA gate, and numerous other memes. Zero unlock stream. Let's go. Does anyone have a good meme for this? Does anyone have a go live meme for this or what?
As high.
So, for example, when I got taken down for watching the presidential debates, like, I totally understand why that is the case. That's copyrighted content, right? That's copyrighted content. It's live.
Cute today.
Right? Why are you getting more people for the snitch you're doing? Wait, what? I don't even know what you're saying. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. That is a good one.
Taking my booster right now. Let's go.
Straight up. That is exactly what's going on right now, too. So anime. Full season. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me collect my thoughts here, because I'm going off the cuff, and I always have a tendency to go off on different tangents. So, when I got DMCA striked, alongside many other content creators on this platform, for live watching the presidential debates, I thought that was bullshit. However, it is, of course, a clear-cut example. Okay, it's a clear-cut example of someone enforcing the copyright laws that are in place. So today I want to use this as I always use these controversies, as an educational opportunity to learn more about why copyright sucks and how it's been utilized in the past and how it continues to be utilized and how patents have been created in an effort to
Hi,
basically,
Daddy.
especially when it comes to intellectual property like Disney, how it's been used to make more money for mega corporations that don't exactly bring about residuals for the little guy. Okay? We're going to talk about how Mickey Mouse is still copyrighted,
When I'm
for
at home and
example.
can't watch on my BFS
So,
subscription, Bezos money.
what I mean by that is, I don't think in a normal universe, in a civilized country, the presidential debate should be paywalled. I think that that is information that the public and as many people as possible should have eyeballs on, right? And I think most people would agree that it is corporate greed and America's weird hyper-capitalist attitude that allows presidential debates to be paywalled for
Let's go.
CNN, exclusively for CNN, right? And most other countries actually play it on their state broadcast. They play it on BBC or they play it on CBC, right? Whenever other countries are having their presidential debates. In America, we don't do that because we don't have a state broadcaster and also because we're capitalist pieces of shit. So what I personally believe about copyright is still entirely different than what the law actually is. So hopefully we can meet somewhere in the middle if you have any confusions about what I am stating.
12
Just
months,
because I
let's go,
believe
Hassel.
something doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that I can get away with doing. Anyway. So,
Less than 3.
that's the one element that I must mention here. Okay? Elizabeth's going to still clip chimp you, my dude. It doesn't matter. No matter what I say, they always do this regardless. Because a lot of internet conversations basically just revolve around whether you personally like the person who's talking or not. You guys are in here for the most part. You like me. So you take the extra initiative to comprehend what I'm saying in a charitable way. Whereas if you don't, if you, for one reason or the other, whether it's politics, whether it's, I don't know, disagreements or whatever you will apply the least amount of charitability to anything I'm saying and completely misunderstand it. And obviously, like, you know, it's difficult to qualify every single thing that you mean. So in a situation like that, haters are going to hate. It's kind of stupid, but it's the unfortunate reality. So, the reason why I mentioned, but the CNN thing I put in a totally separate category. Now that's the one, that's a good example to describe what I think is okay. What I think is okay versus what the law is. So I've been doing React streams for a very long time. There's a reason why I have not been DMCA'd other than the debate ones, because I personally abide by a certain set of rules. These are completely arbitrary and they have nothing to do with the law whatsoever. And those rules are that, and these aren't even clear-cut rules. They are subject to change, but they're, one must not react to anything that is like a full media property, especially if it's owned by Viacom, Disney, some of the larger media conglomerates. Okay? Anime, something that is paywalled. Okay? That's incredibly important. This is something that I oftentimes avoid. Avatar: The Last Airbender is Viacom, Nickelodeon. That's absolutely going to get you clapped. Surprised how Naruto hasn't gotten Toast clapped. Even Toast knows that it most likely will get him clapped. That's why he started watching it, right? And I don't like that people are pushing that boundary because it like kind of cucks, what I do. This is what I do is reactions. Everyone does it too, not just me. Everyone does reactions, which I will get to in a second. Imagine getting LSF cook your content and make it boring stun locks. I mean, it's not. I think this is content. This is not a boring stun lock. This is actually content. Like, excuse you streaming Hunter x Hunter. I don't know why he did that. I think that's not. He knows better, dude. Come on. For one reason or the other, MasterChef does not meet that boundary. I don't know why. I never watched it in the past, but for one reason or the other, MasterChef, older season, MasterChef at least, seems to not draw a lot of ire from the overlords who own that property. And for the record, I think that is a smart thing, personally. Do the MasterChef owners, the owners of that IP, have every right to DMCA people? Of course they do. Of course they do. They could absolutely do that if they wanted to. It is well within their legal right and responsibility. But I think personally, the fact that I think the fact that like it creates hype around their newer seasons that are coming out probably shows that they may or may not be seeing the benefits of it and don't necessarily care. Like if you were to watch the new episodes, of course they would care, and that's understandable. You shouldn't do that. You will get banned for it. Why do you talk about people like XQC doing it as though you aren't ruining the reacts yourself by doing the same thing? Why do you talk about people like XQC doing it? No, I'm saying, dude, have I ever spoken about XQC reacting to MasterChef, dumbass? No, I'm saying that. So are you going to stop before you can't make any react content? That's a better meta than going to your favorite streamer's streams and seeing you watching literally the exact same shit. Okay, so this is a person who's been sub for 18 months who's annoyed that every single person is watching MasterChef. Get mad at the other people watching it then. Okay? What is he saying? Let's take. He's trying to ratio you. Also, your parenthetical was entirely the point of my video. Plus your Y plus ratio. XC has 2 million unique viewers every stream. What do you mean snitching law? Okay. Snitching in this instance is negatively getting upset about it while also simultaneously being like, you're going to ruin it for the rest of us. That's what I mean, for the record. And also, I love Ludwig. Like, I'm not even remotely upset at him. And I was memeing last night as we've been texting, and he's probably going to be coming to the car purchase stream next week. But snitching is when people say, people do this thing, okay? Dry snitching is when people do this thing. Oh, man. People are really going to ruin this platform by reacting to shows. I'm so upset at people ruining this platform by reacting to shows. It's like, if your worry is like, that this is going to become a controversial thing, well, then you're literally participating in making it more controversial. People have been watching shows on this platform and every other platform for a very long time. But now it's a trending subject. Now people are going to start getting banned. That's what I mean when I say snitching. And it's usually the very same people that actually watch the content, you, the chatters, who then turn around and go, yo, this guy, these guys. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. It's like the hot tub streamers we're talking about. It leads to the uproar. Yeah, exactly. So the irony, of course, is that like this is like the JCS saga when people were saying that like JCS hates you for watching his content, you piece of shit. On a tweet where JCS, Jim Can't Swim, literally was saying, I love the way Hasanabi reacts to the content that I put out. And LSF still was like, JCS is happy with it. Everyone else is happy with it. But the LSF, they have not consented to this situation happening. And it's the same kind of here where like Gordo's toying around with it. They're obviously aware that we watch, this shit. Don't know if that's the case or not. Maybe they'll start issuing DMCA notices. In which case, we'll just stop watching. Like, it's not the end of the universe. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. And it doesn't really matter, right? Even though people make it seem as though this is it. Your content will die if you can't do this. And no, part of the reason why you can't actually pursue broadcasting rights to specific IPs is because international copyright laws are dog shit, which we will learn more about now. Like, for example, Twitch has watch parties, right? Twitch has watch parties as a functionality. But the problem is, with the watch party functionality, you are literally limiting so many different countries from actually being able to participate in this. And that sucks. And ultimately, the way I see it is if it's not harming anyone, which I don't think it is, and as a matter of fact, it has the capacity to uplift and promote, then, no harm, no foul. That's the way I see this process. And by the way, I haven't even watched Ludwig's video, but I probably agree with what he's saying because he's not a dickhead. He's not like a resentful dickhead, even though he is a little mad. Hold on, I'm going to reply to him. I'm going to say, you're mad you can't in your car, plus snitching isn't virtue signaling. Or no, I'm going to say virtue signaling. Concern, trolling. Snitching as in concern, trolling. Plus you're handsome. Plus ratio. That's what I'm going to say. Plus you're white. Plus ratio. There it is. Do not let this ratio be achieved for Ludwig, okay? Do not. Anyway, so the point is like, I'm not fucking dead. Like, no one is. It could get annoying though. Should someone playing The Last of Us 2 stream be banned as a story game that a team of hundreds to... No. We're going to get to that in a second. So I've said this. We've had this conversation a million times over on this broadcast, but like now it bears repeating because it's now the meta. It's now the thing to talk about. Now everyone's talking about it. So I'm going to repeat myself a little bit. Some of you have already seen that. Some of you have already heard me say a lot of these things, but like, and by the way, this is the part where like head of YouTube gaming, Ryan Fwiz, also agrees with me, which is that video games are technically DMCA-able as well. They're technically also copyrighted content, right? But the reason why it's not copyrighted is because the industry understands the value that React streamers or video game Let's Play content brings to the table. They get to sell more copies when people see them doing this. Now, for those of you who say, well, technically you're, interacting with it in a way where it's like actually transformative, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't matter. I think a lot of people do not understand, or a lot of people misunderstand rather, how copyright works. Copyright, or especially fair use, the fair use application of copyright is still relatively vague regardless. Okay. So most of what we do playing full-blown video games to completion is not protected under fair use. It doesn't even matter if you're being transformative or not. Okay? Especially when it comes to single player games. It's not like multiplayer games are the only ones that are not subject to copyright or whatever. Single player games are still absolutely subject to copyright, and yet video game companies don't do that. And the reason for why they don't do that is because they see the use in streamers reacting to their games. So much so that not only do they literally say, it's great, please, thank you for playing our games, unlike what Nintendo used to do, okay? and has stopped doing since then. They also even literally put in streamer safe modes into their video games now to take out copyrighted music from their soundtracks so streamers can literally play these games on stream freely without fear. Streamers, even ones like myself, get paid to play video games because they understand that this is a type of marketing, and a good one at that as well. There's a reason why Among Us blew up. There was a reason why Rust blew up when the meta was happening. So I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from here. Now, can you respond to what you mean by not hurting people while watching shows in this instance? I'm not sure everyone understands the purpose for copyright when it's important to enforce for the original creators. PewDiePie is another. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. So yeah, I said everything is fair use if the copyright holder doesn't care about pursuing a DMCA claim. Be smart. Don't watch entire movies, Viacom Disney shit, new apps, and stop snitching. And snitching is just like concern trolling. I should have just said a better way to phrase this without drawing. I mean, I was going to draw the ire of neoliberals regardless and conservatives regardless of no matter what I say. I should have probably said stop concern trolling. Concern trolling is when you act like you care about a particular thing, when you yourself would do it or actually don't in reality give a shit, right? And then I said, video games are a great example of this. Technically, all the games we play on stream are still subject to copyright laws, but the industry recognizes the influence and benefit streamers playing their games, and the benefit of streamers playing their games. This is why it's a super rare. This is why it's a super rare thing for a publisher to pursue copyright. I love your content, man, but you're gonna get your friends with these takes. So the unfortunate reality here is that you're unironically saying you're buying the rights to watching MasterChef, etc., because you're paying exposure. That is what I'm saying. And I'm giving you an example of how that paying with exposure actually works and how an entire industry, a multi-billion-dollar industry that is ahead of the curve when it comes to this, also recognizes that. You yourself are failing to comprehend this. Yes. That is why people pay me money to play video games. That is why people pay me money to watch shit on stream. Remember when I did a watch party for the new Borat movie? That's how this works. Now, that's entirely dependent on the company, though. And video game companies don't care. I think not watching a video and then commenting on the video is the wild part. That's how Joe Manchin voted on his bills. Yo, Ludwig, get in the Discord right now. We're gonna duke it out. Ludwig has his red receipts on. It's kind of a flex. It's really funny when people on the internet are like, Hasan and Ludwig are duking it out, when they do not understand how much I love this man. Okay? Like, yo, these guys hate each other, dude. They hate each other, dude. It's like, no, I love him. He's awesome. The funnier part about it is that we probably don't even have a disagreement on the matter. I get what you're saying, but as an artist / graphic designer, payment and exposure triggering. Yeah, of course, I understand, because you are a singular artist and a graphic designer. You get mega corporations do not. That's the difference. So yes, the actual usage and the intention of the copyright laws are to protect people like you. But that doesn't happen. That's the point. Like, there are understandable usage of people being protected under the eyes of the law, like a small content creator or a small business or a graphics designer getting their shit stolen from by a mega corporation. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is the copyright laws that like Disney has created and has advocated for and has consistently expanded on in an effort to make sure that they maintain their IP and make as much money as possible while, you know, hurting other people and literally over other people. So, okay, Ludwig is a coward. He doesn't want to come in the Discord. He's not responding. Notice how he ran away? Because he knows. Own him, dude. I'd own him and then I'd kiss him. Right. You do realize it's going to be clipped and used against you watching YouTubers without their permission, right? Yes, I do realize that. I mean, this has already happened many times over. There are some YouTubers who, there's one YouTuber who's very upset at me. They did like a 45-minute video or something saying that like I don't care about them or that I don't care about their content, all this other stuff. And I told him like, I'm really sorry. I said it there too. I was like, I'm sorry. I will never watch your videos again. But in the overwhelming majority of cases, especially on YouTube, other YouTubers love when you watch their shit on stream. Straight up. Andrew is a great example of this. Plenty of other YouTubers are great examples of this. I'm a great example of this. I absolutely love when other people watch my shit. It's great. It brings attention to the content. It brings more eyeballs. That's why other YouTubers who make content will joke about it. They'll literally joke about it. They'll meme about it. They love it. But in the off chance that someone doesn't, in the off chance that someone does not, then of course, no shot. I'm not touching it. And I apologize. So, I wish you to at least be honest with why you watch MasterChef. It gives you 40K viewers for minimal effort. You're the best content creator on this website, so do it, even if 40K don't want to watch. MasterChef or watching MasterChef is less effort than watching other kinds of React content. But ultimately, all React content is minimal effort if you think about it that way. I'm not like pushing a cart or, I don't know, working in a goddamn salt mine, brother. TLDR, legally Gordo can copyright claim you watching him. However, you're giving them free advertising. If they strike you, you will stop. Now, for the love of Allah, can we just stop the stun lock and watch Chrissy display some lovely racism? We're not going to watch MasterChef yet. But my point is, that was a good TLDR, by the way. That is accurate, 100%. I wouldn't have started watching you if one of your clips channels that isn't yours didn't post the JCS videos on their own. It's literally what made me start watching you. Yeah, so the other part of this is that, like, people will oftentimes do this. Here, I'm going to show you guys something funny. So a lot of people are responding to this by using like insane analogies that, say, well, oh, it's like saying murder is fine as long as you don't get caught. That's not what I'm saying at all. If you think that murder is analogous, to copyright laws, then you are a psychopath. So I don't know what to tell you. But one of the funniest things has been throughout this saga, every time this sort of shit happens, someone says, that's stealing money from the creators. If I or anybody else makes money from your content without adding anything, you better not do anything about it. And this is not my expectation. I don't think other streamers do this. I don't think other streamers should do this. But I don't care. My IP is yours to make money off of. And you guys all know this. There are probably plenty of people that actually have found this stream because they've seen my millions of different Hasanabi industrial complex, the wonderful people of the Hasanabi industrial complex that have made millions of channels at this point, millions and millions of views. So one of the things that I found really funny about that was that people were turning around and stating the obvious, which was, well, dude, what the you make money off of your live stream. It brings attention to your live stream. And that's how you make more money. That's why you don't care. Oh, really? So you understand the point I'm making then. Your money comes from your live period, not thereafter. You already have the bag, unlike produced content, produced property with a large team behind it. So did you just say that releasing my IP is actually beneficial for me? That's what you just said. But you thought that this was actually a counterpoint when we are both saying the same thing. Now, the truth about this is that, yes, releasing your IP is beneficial because it brings more eyeballs. It's free marketing. However, the other side of this reality is that, yes, you are technically leaving money on the table, per se. What do I mean by that? Well, I have YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. That YouTube channel could be making a load more money, but other clip channels eat away at that revenue, eat away at those eyeballs, and they make a money on their own, right? So in that circumstance, I'm saying I don't care if other people make money. That even hurts my bottom line in that situation. Because ultimately, one, I just don't care. Okay. And two, it's beneficial for me regardless. So yes, I let go of the opportunity to double, triple my bag by, pursuing copyright violations on YouTube or like taking over these channels or whatever. Right? Because I think that it's cool and chill if people are making money off of that. And because it does put my shit in front of people that otherwise would not see it. Also, that at the top of the hour, I can serve the maximum amount of people the 60-second ad break. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break, folks. Another area where I could have quintupled my bag, but decided that I would rather not serve so many ads. But hey, if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. Would you feel the same way if you were just starting off? Brother, I've been doing this since I was starting off. So, yeah. But again, this is not my expectation for others. This is not my expectation for others. Some people might not want to do that, and it's their right to do so. It's their right to pursue their own copyright. It's bullshit. So, I want people to understand that, like, I'm not saying, like, I'm going to steal no matter what. I'm going to steal your the content no matter what, even if you don't want it. Like, that's ridiculous. Okay? I'm not a piece of shit. Which is precisely why when a streamer decides, or when a YouTuber decides, like, don't watch this, don't watch my shit, you're a piece of shit, I hate you. I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry. I will never do that again. Didn't you say you were going to take down a Twitch channel that was restreaming your content here on Twitch? No, I was angry and I didn't do that anyway. I just banned them from the platform because they were saying some dumb shit. Like, I banned them from my chat. No, I didn't ban Hasanabi's waiting room. Okay, he's a fan. And it wasn't even about like a restreaming. It was more so that I was like pissed off. And they're unbanned now anyway. So the other thing I was going to say is, like, I carry myself a certain way. I place personal boundaries that no one else is expected to do. And yet I still get asked harder than everybody else. Part of that reason is not because people are legitimately concerned with protecting the bottom line of mega corporations. The reason why people do that is because it's me, and that's the reason why no one is criticizing XQC on LSF for the most part. Like, there's maybe a couple comments here and there, and he's been watching MasterChef for months, right? Okay? And that's because they like him and they don't like me. It's that simple, okay? That's it. He's the king. Everybody likes him. So, of course, nobody's yelling at him, and I'm a easier target to shit on because that's the expected thing to do. And for the record, I don't even think that it's up to watch MasterChef. If MasterChef doesn't have a problem with streamers watching MasterChef, why the f do you care? You know what I mean? What's it to you? People are enjoying it. Millions of people that would have never watched it otherwise are now watching it. And that's it. You know what I mean? Like, and if MasterChef does care, it's over. No more MasterChef. It's that simple. They're also only criticizing Pokimane while forgiving XCO. I wonder why. Yeah, it's just like, come on. Would you stop watching Ben Shabibo if he said he did not like you watching him? No, that's entirely separate. That's actually the fair use conversation that we haven't even gotten to yet. Like, Joe Rogan's team, Super Bam, manually fucking took down a video of mine, or not took down, but like took over the monetization of a video of mine where I was criticizing Joe Rogan. That's bullshit. That's actually 100% like Ethan Klein style fair use, and that would not, if they actually pursued it, which they didn't, they smartly took that back immediately as soon as I went to YouTube and I was like, what the f is going on? And they took that back. And the reason why they took that back is because they're wrong. That's entirely separate. Like, what I do here right now and what I do as a political streamer, that's entirely separate than what we're talking about with like MasterChef. I put that into two separate categories, so don't misunderstand that. Yeah, if Ben Shapiro was like, I do not want you to hypothetically watch my videos, I'm going to copyright you, that is a gross violation of freedom of speech. That's bullshit. He would never do that. He would look like a gigantic coward, all that sort of stuff. Okay? Can you explain how that's different? Not criticizing, I would just legit like to know. Well, that goes into fair use. like actual fair use, not one that is in the gray area. Well, actual fair use is actually in gray as well, but actual fair use in the sense that like you are applying commentary to it. That is transformative content completely in its entirety. It's transformative work. You're not watching that video to watch what Ben Shapiro is saying. You could easily just go and watch Ben Shapiro to do that. You're watching that video because you want to see what I have to say about what Ben Shapiro is saying. It's completely separate. But with MasterChef, you absolutely could make the argument in certain circumstances. Are you actually pissed, or are you just juicing the drama? I'm not even pissed. This is something that I've talked about a million times over. So that's like, do I sound upset? Not really. You guys think, like, I've been doing this since I had 1K viewers. You know what I mean? It's not like I've been doing this exact same thing for many, many years. I see that there are dark days ahead for Twitch, and the platform will be worse overall. And part of that is because now there is a lot more negative attention on this stuff. And now Pokimane got banned. She's one of the biggest content creators. And I think everybody has I think everyone is somewhat responsible for it. I would even go so far as to say I am somewhat responsible for it, for even watching MasterChef videos. There's varying degrees of people responsible for what is to come in the future. But if you're really testing the boundaries as a large content creator, like, what are you doing? Like, don't watch Hunter x Hunter. Don't watch Avatar. Come on, guys. You know better. Don't watch Death Note. Don't watch Naruto. These are like hyper paywalled content. Old reality TV shows like Black, White, or old reality TV shows like the ones that I've watched time and time again, with other people, routinely pausing and like actually adding commentary to it. Old reality TV shows that are, no longer in circulation, that people aren't even fucking personally, I don't even know if that's in like, it's still being sold out to. Like those are, like wife swap and shit. Those are not, it's still technically a violation of copyright if the owner wants to pursue it. But if they're not, and in most circumstances they don't, don't push the boundaries. Just stay in the safer gray area. So other streamers being upset about this are like literally adding fuel to the fire. Doesn't watching old racist Disney get you claimed? Yeah, I mean, but watching the old racist Disney one, the Song of the South or whatever, that is still fair usable technically, depending on what level of transformation you are actually applying to the original work. It's funny watching this play out. People are taking sides as if they actually care about the DMCA, and like people are acting like they're being brave and pushing boundaries for their choice of content to watch. Really, it's just everyone being lazy on one side and salty jelly on the other. Ludwig making a video about it, then admitting he'd be doing it himself if he was still on Twitch, but since he's not, ooh, come on, guys, this is too far. Hasan doesn't mind people making money off his clip spike or calling out Ludwig dry snitching, which it is, but ignoring the fact that Ludwig's video has far less reach than the actual streamers doing this shit every day. Kaw just asking questions while tagging very specific people and mentioning details. I'm sure he'd rather be right about Hammer coming down than have it not come down at all, despite his claims of not wanting the site to get screwed over. The absolute balls on Rich Campbell's to sleep while streaming the entirety of The Lord of the Rings during a subathon. Yeah, that's like, what are you doing? Commenters on LSF RPing his DMCA lawyers with their theories on how all of this plays out, when really they just want the entertainment of the potential chaos rippling through the Twitch ecosystem. Meanwhile, near billionaire executive Andes are trying to figure out why this barely paid intern is mentioning how unpoggers it is that one of their shows is being streamed by someone with a chronic Twitch. It's like an orgy. Everyone's all just trying and hoping that the others get, which, sure, fine. The way everyone on all sides of this thing is trying to take some high horse, both ridiculous and hilarious, is a carnival. I'm not taking a high horse, for the record. I'm very much on the low horse on this. This is something I do, something I've been doing. Like, my boundaries are my boundaries. If you don't want me to watch your shit, I will never watch it ever again. The criticism that he applied to me was kind of weak, I'm gonna be honest. He could have gone harder. Yes, he can confirm whichever this goes, I'm here for the popcorn. For the record, like, I don't think Ludwig is responsible for any of this shit, for the record. Like, no. I wanna let that be clear. Like, y'all are dummies if you think I genuinely think that. If anything, streamers like ourselves, who literally push the boundaries, are actually more responsible than Ludwig is, who's just trying to, you know, get as much off the drama as possible. But it's still concern trolling. And that's the truth. I'm really tired of the Twitch men. I purposely break the rules while acting dumb in the process so you can take a 2-day vacation and then be welcomed back with 3x viewership and exposure. And while everyone now has to deal with the stricter rules for your dumbassery. It's exhausting. There's a streamer out there who pirated shows of someone else's work and made money off of it to buy a $3 million house. Imagine how much money the people that own the content lost. I love that. Like, sorry, this is, if people's legitimate concern was that, like, oh, we're drawing a lot of attention to this situation and like people are going to start getting banned and shit, then you would be reaching out to them privately and being like, hey, what the f- are you doing? Like, don't watch that sort of shit. But not an excuse, but explanation. Crux lies within copyright laws. TV show formats, including usage of brand logos, designs, etc., get sold for millions to TV companies. Now, if the format holder don't go after unauthorized usage of IP, he can technically lose the rights to his own IP after a certain time. That is another weird copyright law thing too. I've heard that as well. Like, yeah, if you don't even like aggressively pursue your own IP, like you can actually lose it too. That's another weird part about your trademark. This Minecraft YouTuber is malding. I'm glad Pokey got banned. I hope XQC, Toast and XQC do too. All of them. This behavior seems like it stems from having money. They've made enough now that they could get permit tomorrow and never work again, retire or jump ship and get a nice signing on fee at YouTube or Facebook. It's the landscape for the creators beneath them and will likely result in flawed tools that let big companies mass strike. I mean, this is true. It does. Like this has been going on for a very long time on the platform. But what is really strange about it is that like every content creator does this to a varying degree. And for some weird reason, it's like if your main concern was that like we're getting a lot of bad attention right now, why are you piling on and adding onto the bad attention for some clicks? But once again, this all, as is the case with most of these edge cases, all of it relies on this man or whoever owns MasterChef. If that person decides, you guys, what the f- are you doing, right? Misgive was streaming Avatar yesterday. Haven't seen his name anywhere. Dog, it's LSF, okay? They have favorites. How many times do I have to say to you that, like, this is not really about the people that are upset are not Gordon Ramsay, who's, like, memeing along, okay? I'm sure he has some level of understanding of what's going on Twitch at this point, but he's still memeing about it, okay? The people who are upset are not the owners of the IP. Some of them might eventually, down the line, get upset. The people who are upset are people who are upset because they are upset at streamers making money for the most part, which is also an understandable, emotional, but an understandable feeling to have, okay? We sit on our asses. We have incredibly fortunate lives. We are incredibly privileged. So, of course, fuckers that watch us go, that guy. I want that. I want to make money and be able to offer my family financial protection and security by watching shit. Okay? That's where a lot of this comes from. That is the other side of the parasocial coin, okay? None of this is about like what do you think everyone on LSF is a DMCA lawyer? Like you think all of these guys are actually corporate lawyers, dude? No. Half of these guys are upset on the streamer side because one, they do legitimately fear the long dick of the law coming down and making the platform less pleasurable to stream on, so they themselves can't violate the rules when they feel like it every now and then, okay? The other reason is because maybe their own view counts are not doing so well, and they liken that to, well, those guys are getting all the attention because those guys are doing something that's illegal. And then you have gremlins that literally only make money off of farming drama, right? Like they're and you know, obviously those guys are gonna jump on the train because they operate exactly like the same weirdo sad pathetic losers on Reddit who are like, I am actually a DMCA lawyer, right? And that's it. Like that's where this is coming from. I don't hate any of these motherfuckers except for some, obviously. It's just like there are varying degrees of people upset for different reasons, okay? ultimately, it kind of it comes back to like the hot tub meta or whatever. It's like, if you're not hurting anyone, why? Who cares? Look at this. Look at this. Look at all this shit. Everyone's losing their minds. And some people are going to, I mean, look, not a single one of my takes ever makes it on this sort of subject, but the pylons always do. Even if it's literally Ludwig memeing, okay? Even if it's literally Ludwig memeing with me. Look at that. Ludwig destroys Hasan in the marketplace of ideas. Ludwig's response to Hasan's claim he snitched. Live tweet fail, omega lol. Yeah. He's making fun of LSF, but they still do not understand that they're being made fun of, or they don't care. Look how quickly everybody passed. This snitch stuff is done, but I'm not really digging the virtue signal on this stuff. With so many actually mad at streamers violating DMCA. Like, holy shit, it wasn't that long ago when the music industry went ham and everyone had to delete their VODs and we all hated that. No one's defending the music industry then. So listening to the copyrighted music, non-stop is supposed... What? Non-stop is supported around here, but watch a TV show and violate copyright, you're endangering the platform. The outrage is so convenient, it seems disingenuous. Because it is. LSF is a collection of people that like one streamer and don't like the other, okay? And they get together and use the, act like they are consistently upset about something, right? When they're not consistently upset about something at all. And they completely forget about whatever they were upset about last week and use whatever meta is to shit on whoever the streamer that they hate is, okay? That's it. And most of those people literally are in here and they watch, they enjoy, they throw keck W's, okay? That's what the stupid part is. Like, there's people that literally will be like, MasterChef when? Mod check? MasterChef when? Mod check? And then when this shit started popping off, those very are like, yeah, dude, actually you are stealing content. That's really up. Dog, what do you mean? Okay? You want me to do it? You think I'm going to die without being able to watch MasterChef? No, I'm going to move on to some other shit. Who cares? LSF deleted Hasan's take because he showed it on stream. Yeah, sure. I'm sure that's the reason. I don't even know if they've clipped any of my takes regardless. So, and I don't even care, dude. It's like, it's not going to happen. Every single one of my takes that actually presents my side is always going to get downvoted into oblivion no matter what. And then whoever clips out like a bad take is going to get upvoted into oblivion. And then whoever capitalizes on that further is also going to get 3 other separate posts. This is how it goes at this point. Please recognize that this is how it works at this point. And it's all disingenuous and it doesn't matter. The beauty of what I do is that you can actually come to figure out what my genuine point of view is on this sort of stuff and what my own personal experience is and how I conduct myself. Instead of like, you sound like Trainwreck right now. Yeah, but I mean, it's in front of your eyes, man. I don't know what else to tell you. And I don't even fault the people for hating me, to be honest. Like, I mean, there's obviously crazy people, but yeah, if you hate me because you think I'm incredibly privileged and incredibly fortunate, then I mean, it's true. You are right. And when I say stuff like that, people lose their shit. Like, even then people get mad. He's like, well, now he's flexing on us. Like, no, I'm not. I get where you're coming from. I get why you're resentful and angry. Okay. I did get DMCA for watching CNN on stream. The CNN stream that I watched was literally a presidential debate. It was incredibly up. Stop gassing them up for having a bad take. I mean, it's still pathetic and it's still slimy and it's still resentful and but the anger is real, albeit misdirected. What is this? Wait, Pluto just DM'd me. Okay, it's over. Yeah, MasterChef is over. MasterChef as a meta is completely over. That's it. It's done. There it is. No more MasterChef. It's done.